Hey everyone, it's Trisha, coming to you from very snowy New Hampshire. As just a reminder, I do my internship at Create in Manchester, New Hampshire, where I'm doing individual therapy as well as some group work. So this week has been pretty nice. I'm actually on vacation this week, so I just got back from Florida last night, so that's really nice because we had a little bit of snow here. Um, so it's been really nice to have a little bit of self care and some to spend some time with family and just have a really nice couple of days off. So I'm off for the rest of this week, which is also really nice. Um, and so I'll be back at my internship next Tuesday. But so today, I guess I really wanted to talk to you guys more about kind of like politics and policy and kind of where we are with that. And I think in more, I think it's something that we tend to avoid here and probably with our clients as social workers because we don't we don't want to offend anybody, we don't want to upset anybody, and we also don't necessarily want to be a big part of the political debate. But I think in at my site visit, I was talking to with Professor Horn, and she really she really kind of talked about how we hadn't really talked about it yet. So I was happy to volunteer because I've always been a really political person, and I've always been interested in politics and how it affects us in general, especially in our lives, because I think that with this current climate, the past 8 years, I think we probably had a good role because the president was definitely more about things like social programs and things that support a lot of the people that we support, whereas now we're kind of in an unknown in terms of like what's going to be supported, what's going to be cut, and no matter the political beliefs, I think that we're all potentially at risk of losing at least some funding if we're doing anything in the public sector. So I think that that's pretty significant, and I don't know if anyone else has had any kind of conversations about politics, but it's definitely something that's come up both in my internship and with my own personal clients, because the director was talking about how he had someone who hadn't been in therapy for years, and then when the president elect was when it was Trump, he came back to therapy just to deal with that and to talk about that because he was a big activist and really struggled with that information. I think I've had clients on either side of it where they've been either very conservative or very liberal. So getting kind of both sides of like where we are in politics has been really, really interesting. And I think it's been interesting to kind of dealing with supporting them in their views without kind of putting my views forward. It's a really fine line because I certainly want to remain that kind of neutral party for them. So I don't want to let them feel like they can't talk about their politics if I don't agree with them. And I also don't want them to feel like treatment is like that the therapy session is just going to turn into like a big discussion about politics, because that's really not what it's about. If it's something that's really weighing on them, I'm happy to let them share that and talk about that. But I think that there's definitely a fine line in between allowing someone to vent or talk about something that they're happy with in politics, and then or joining their debate, because I don't think that that's always that healthy. I know I personally am liberal, and I'm not scared or afraid to talk about that. But I don't really kind of put it forth to my clients. Like I have one individual she's only 14, and she just kept talking about how she was a Trump supporter because she agreed that women dress inappropriately and it wasn't okay for Hillary Clinton to call supporters deplorable. So I tried to have a conversation with her about that, just about like what the media does and doesn't do. And then we talked about her rights as a woman, I think, which was significant. And then I have another client who's very, very liberal, and is always very concerned about the state of politics. So it looks like I'm just about out of time. So my question for you this week is, have you ever had a client that has really stark, differently political views than you do, and how do you deal with that in conversation with them? All right, so I guess I will talk to you guys next week, and have a great week and stay warm. Bye.